Hi, and welcome to Financial Minds Meet the Experts. I'm your host, Jaime Agostino. As you know, on this podcast, we're joined by financial industry experts to talk about topics, trends, and themes that credit union professionals need to know about. Today, we're welcoming Sue Ward-Diorio, CrossState Credit Union Foundation, and 3 Vizo Financial Empowerment Grant recipients, Angela Barlup with Belco Community Credit Union, Sandra Mullins with Advanced Financial Federal Credit Union, and Erica Wennell with Utility Employees Credit Union. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Before we get started, would you mind sharing just a little bit about yourself and your role at the credit union? Angie, would you mind going first?
Sure. I'm Angela Barlup. I'm a financial education program manager at Belco. And so I am out in the schools and in the communities and nonprofits doing financial education, reality fairs, and any number of different events and activities.
All right, thank you. Erica, how about you?
Hi, I'm Erica Wennell at Utilities Employees Credit Union. I'm the product manager here. I get to take my 18 years of banking experience and take those experience and help build out products and services that help our members reach their financial goals.
All right. Sandy, how about you?
Hi, Sandy Mullins. I'm the CEO at Advanced Financial Federal Credit Union in New Jersey. And I was on the board of directors of the CrossState Credit Union Foundation, actually even the New Jersey Foundation when it was still just New Jersey by itself, and then CrossState since the inception of the foundation in CrossState. So from that perspective, I've been involved in promoting financial literacy and really promoting everything that the foundation does.
All right. And Sue, how about yourself?
Yeah, Sue Ward-Diorio. I'm the executive director of CrossState Credit Union Foundation. And, my role is really promoting financial education in our communities and with our credit unions. And these are some of our champions that you'll hear today that are out in the community. And just such a pleasure to be here and to talk about this.
All right. Well, Sue, I'm going to kick off by asking you a few questions, if you don't mind. So tell me about the empowerment grants, how they work, the qualifications, how the foundation went about promoting them.
Mm-hmm. So we, Vizo Financial offered this wonderful grant, and it doesn't surprise me because we are always talking with Vizo about financial education, and we have a similar passion around this, helping our communities and our credit unions. So this was just really exciting that Vizo came to us to do something like this. And really the grants are about funding projects that credit unions are doing or want to do. It could be creating a program, developing curriculum, purchasing a financial education app, and training opportunities to best serve members. And so the way it worked was we had an application on our website, and similar to other foundation applications, credit unions applied to them, and then our grants committee, which are volunteer board members of the foundation, reviewed the grants and then approved them. We promoted it on our daily, which is always a great place to find information. It's our daily e-newsletter. But we also sent direct emails to all our CEOs and other folks, other members and connections that we have. And we also sent a press release around it, because this was a really big deal. This was a really significant gift and grant for our foundation.
Yeah, well, definitely a great opportunity. Thank you, Sue. So Sue, did you receive positive feedback regarding these empowerment grants? How many applications did you receive? How many recipients were there?
Yeah, so we had a fantastic response. We had 13 grants that we gave out, and I was thinking about this. Like, we had 13 grants that we gave out, and we gave it all the money out by May. So we got an incredible response, and we even had one, we ran out of money for one credit union. And so we are really grateful that we're able to run the program again. And so I told that credit union to come back to me. But it was really interesting. So we had a lot of grants for financial education, the FICEP program, actually.
Oh, okay.
I think there was like 15 to 20 people that were served through this grant. Because people were could apply up to $5,000, so they could send a couple of their staff through it. I actually had one credit union, I think they're on this call, who was like, "Oh, we don't want to. We'll just have funding for a couple people. We want to make sure everybody gets an opportunity to take advantage of this grant." And so that is such a classic credit union mentality, to be collaborative and make sure there's enough for all. So, but we also had grants for classroom programs, financial education apps, and then reality fairs for materials. And one credit union actually bought a reality fair kit.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah. So I think I answered all your questions
Yeah,
there.
you did. You did. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Well, now I want to hear from the credit union recipients here. So, Erica, I'm going to start with you. Why did your credit union apply for the empowerment grant?
We are a collective of 10 credit unions collaborating to deliver financial reality fairs to local high school students. Since our credit unions vary in size, funding can sometimes be challenging. The empowerment grant allows us to focus on expanding and enhancing these fairs. We believe it's crucial to equip young people with the financial skills they need, like money management, budgeting. Our goal is to introduce these concepts in a fun and engaging way, lasting a positive impact on their financial futures.
All right. Yeah, I've had the pleasure of being at some of the reality fairs. Credit unions do a great job with those. So that's wonderful. Thank you. Sandy, what about you? Why did your credit union apply for the empowerment grant?
Well, I am the aforenamed credit union that said, "Oh no, I shouldn't really apply," because I, I think it was a couple of things. I think being on the board, there was a piece of me that said, I know there are so many good programs out there and so many credit unions that need assistance. But Sue actually called me and convinced me and said, you know what, these grants are here for everybody. And um, we did use ours for FICEP. And I've really been trying to promote that internally with my staff. And I did have such an outpouring of people that were interested. We really weren't going to be able to do more than as the credit union than pay for a couple of people. And so with Sue's prompting, we did apply, and that it was absolutely a great thing to do, because it gave us the money we needed to get more people in the program.
All right. Awesome. Angela, why did your credit union apply for the empowerment grant?
Well, we applied for the empowerment grant because in early 2023, we were really trying to take a look at our online learning center. We were rebranding it. We were looking at all of the different vendors that we were using and the information and materials we were providing. And we knew that we had a gap where we could not provide. We just didn't have anything for kids and families. So we were really looking to add a fun, interactive app for families and children to use. And in the process of reviewing everything, we did find a vendor that we really loved. They had an interactive financial literacy app that is geared for kids 3 to 13, and it does involve parents and caregivers. But the problem was, at that point, we would have had to wait because we didn't have all the funding we needed for it. So it was so timely to have the grant come out when it did. We immediately applied for that, and we were able to sign an agreement with the vendor, have everything customized and ready to go. And we rolled out the My First Nest Egg application, financial app, to our members and communities in January of 2024. So it was just a great timing for us.
Great. All right. So, Sandy, you kind of already talked about the program, and but how was your credit union using the empowerment grant specifically? How many team members were you able to send through the program?
Well, actually, since we've started having people participate in the program, I actually now have 8 certified financial planners in my staff. Um, and we are a community charter, but I really feel as if we never focused our attention on how we made sure that our staff felt comfortable being able to help community members, especially our frontline staff. So my focus has been, it started with our lenders because that was just such a fit. I mean, the grant that we did this time, it was for 5 people. So we've just really upped our game from the 3 that we had to the 8. But my thought really was start with the lending staff and then also see what frontline people were interested and give them the opportunity for training that they might not otherwise receive. You know what? In the end, they are the people that see our members every day, and feeling more knowledgeable and being able to respond to a question or pick up on a comment from a member and then say, hey, the credit union can do something for you. And I understand some of this as well, was really what our goal is. So that's really what we were using it for, and sort of spreading the knowledge out into our branches. So yeah,
Wonderful.
which has been really successful. And the feedback from the staff is gratifying to me because they said, yeah, it's not only helpful professionally, but even personally to apply some of what they learned in the FICEP training to their own lives.
Yeah, not only does it give them the knowledge, but it also gives them the confidence to
Exactly.
feel that they have the knowledge.
Right.
So
Exactly.
that can be
Yes.
really impactful.
Mm-hmm.
Erica, how is your credit union using the empowerment grant?
We're using the empowerment grant to host reality fairs at 10 local high schools for the 2024-2025 school year, and we're going to be reaching over 3,500 students. These reality fairs offer a hands-on experience where students face real-world financial challenges such as budgeting, housing, and other living expenses. Students are assigned a salary based on your career choice. The grant is going to help us cover the cost of the printed materials. Each student leaves with a budget worksheet. It's going to help us with volunteer coordination. It takes 30 to 40 volunteers for each event and help us secure the technology needed to run these events. Additionally, we're always looking to expand the reality fairs to reach more schools and a diverse student group.
All right, wonderful. Is there a certain grade that you guys are targeting? Like, is it high school?
It's high schools. Yeah, it's high schools, mostly juniors and seniors. And
Okay.
Our friends at Belco Credit Union, they actually host a reality fair in a middle school and they do 7th graders.
Okay, awesome. Well, you know what? You just hit 2 of my kids just went back to school today. Junior, 7th grader. So they would
It's
fall
good
right
for they're really wonderful for any age. I think middle school to college.
Yeah, wonderful. Angela, so how is your credit union using the empowerment grant?
Well, we took the empowerment grant and we paired it with our winnings on the leaders in financial literacy. We won an award in 2023. So we put those funds together in order to sign on with the My First Nest Egg app. And like I said, it's been really great. We feel like this application can provide a great foundation for families to get kids thinking about money and help parents just raise money smart kids. So we've this app actually is a combines like a digital piggy bank with a chore and allowance chart. So it teaches kids responsibility through, completing their chores. And it has a daily financial question that comes out. So it's age appropriate content that can get questions started and parents can help kids learn some basics of money management. So.
Yeah. Wow. Sounds good. I'm still trying to get my 12-year-old to do chores. So maybe if I had, a financial incentive, that would help.
We can hook you up.
All right. So my last question for my grant recipient. So Angela, I'm going to come back to you. How will the new program funded from the empowerment grant benefit your credit union, but also your members?
Well, we see this really benefiting the credit union in a number of ways. I mean, it's filling that gap to provide an interactive app for financial education for children and families. It complements our youth saving programs perfectly. We feel like it's helping us build loyalty with our members and with our future, the children that are current members. So hoping they remain members. And it also has a classroom classroom content as well that allows us that extra material to get out there and do some things in the classroom from the credit union standpoint. From a parent or member standpoint, we feel like it's a great opportunity. It's a great tool in a parent's toolbox to help them, like we said, to raise money smart kids. It's motivational. The chore charts and chore puzzles, incenting them to do those types of things has been very successful. And that program really does help teach goal setting and purpose for letting the kids decide where they want that money to go into savings, into a spending area, or into a sharing area. So we really feel like this is helping build a base of knowledge to teach kids some very valuable financial concepts at a young age. So, and since we launched it, we have 655 kids using the app right now, and they're completing a ton of chore puzzles and earning a lot of allowance. So it's been successful.
And when did you launch it? So you have over 600. When did you launch it?
But we launched it January of 2024.
Okay, in January. Okay,
Yeah.
wow.
So our goal is to try and get 1,000 of our members using it by the end of the year. So.
Okay, all right. Well, there's still several months to go, so I hope you guys reach that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, Sandy, what about you? How will the new program funded by this empowerment grant benefit your credit union, but also your members?
Well, I'll start first with members. I really think that we are doing a much better job interacting with our members and explaining how and why we do what we do a lot better. I'm going to say that's especially true on the lending side because not every loan application goes the way a member hopes. And when you have to deliver explanations and information about why we maybe can't grant the amount they're looking for or why the terms need to be modified, I really think that with our loan officers having the training and the tools that they learned through the FISEP program, they are much better able to explain things to members, talk to them about budgeting, explain what their debt to income ratio really is, what it means, how they can affect it, all of those types of things. And on the front line, although that kind of conversation happens to a lesser degree, certainly, there is still, I think it's translating to be able to intelligently offer products rather, and we have never been in a sales culture here, but at times people are afraid to suggest anything. When a member may say something where you could say, well, if you use the debit card for this, you would be able to track that better than, or why are you just going to an ATM making withdrawals? You're spending money, those types of things. So again, the ability to communicate some ideas to members about how to manage their finances, how to build wealth, which is beneficial. And then in the end, that's ultimately beneficial to members. I mean, to the credit union, because members feeling that we're not trying to sell them something, we are really trying to help them. Right. And encourage that's the kind of dialogue we want to have with everyone. The other thing I hope to have happen, and I guess this is a combination of helping members and credit union, we haven't had as many financial reality fairs in New Jersey. They're concentrated more in Southern Jersey because there's just been a wonderful network down there for years who've run those fairs. But I'll say, at least for my part here in Northern Jersey, it was hard to think of attending a fair when we didn't have that many people who might be able to go and volunteer because they didn't have the knowledge to take with them to really, be in a reality fair and have the conversations that Erica was referring to that you really need to have with the students. So I'm hoping that as things continue to evolve, if we do have more programs here in the northern part of New Jersey, I'm going to actually have a team to draw from and say, hey, and I do have younger staff who wants to be out in the community, who believes that service is very important. And so these are ways for them to be involved in a community activity with the right resources.
Yeah, wonderful. And I mean, next year, more empowerment grants to help North Jersey get some of those off the ground. So,
yep.
And we are working on that. trying to create a coalition similar to what her committee is. It's a great model for collaboration with credit unions. And we are sort of pulling a team together from North Jersey to be able to do something very similar.
That's good to hear.
Actually, Angie as well, pulling together a coalition of credit unions in her area as well. Because I think the model works really nicely and sort of shares the burden of like running something. So more to come.
Yeah. All right, awesome. Well, we'll be following back up on that. So Erica, the final question to you. How will the new program funded from the Empowerment Grant benefit your credit union and your members?
The financial reality fairs funded by the Empowerment Grant will benefit both the credit unions and the community members in several ways. For the credit union, it reinforces our commitment to community service and positions us as leaders in financial education. It also allows all of us to live out our collective mission of people helping people. Engaging with high school students fosters early relationships with potential future members and builds trust with these students. And for each student that attends, the 3,500 kids, if they each just take one thing away from the experience about budgeting and managing money, I just really believe that starts them on a path of helping them. Not all schools are able to provide financial education. Some kids, this is the only budgeting they're getting throughout the school year. So it really is benefiting our community, setting these kids up for financial success, and it's just helping build the brand of all the credit unions. And like how Sue was saying, working together is such a special thing, I think, happens in the credit union space, and having the grant just really helps us focus on the collaboration piece of it.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. I mean, I can only speak with my school district and my kids. Budgeting and financial literacy, it's an elective at school. So it's not a requirement. So kids actually have to opt in to take it, which of course my husband and I from the financial sector told our daughter she had to. So making sure, but it's crazy because I remember being in school now, granted I would date myself, that was part of the natural curriculum. But now it's an elective. So the reality fairs that I've been to have been wonderful. And so I wish you the best of luck there.
Thank you.
All right. So final thoughts. Anyone have any final thoughts for our listener? Angie, any final thoughts?
Just the whole empowerment grant opportunity. We are so thankful for that. It was, we're just blessed that you offered that up between CrossState and Vizo, and that really came at a perfect time for us. We know that we have a lot of work yet to do with making sure people have the financial skills that they need, but we think this app that we were able to institute is a good starting point. We want these kids we don't want them to look back and say, I wish someone would have taught me that in school. So here it gives the parents the extra opportunity to try and help their kids along too. So yes, and thank you. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, well, that's a shout out to Erin Doan. She spearheads that, works closely with Sue specifically. So Sue, any final thoughts for our listeners?
Yeah, I think that this group is a great example of the different ways that we teach financial education, the one-on-one with the FI-SET program, in the schools, the working with families. All of that work makes such an impact. And you go to a fair and just that information you get to a kid could change their direction in their life, could inspire them for their career. But those really simple financial skills can make a huge difference. It can change a family's life. Like if someone can learn it at one level, they're teaching their kids, and that can change the family's direction. So this work is so important, and it as financial people, like, this seems so simple, but it's so critical, and it's not out there. And the work of credit unions makes such an impact to their members and in their communities. So this grant just highlights that and, helps the foundation really reach more people. So it's really exciting.
All right. Erica, any final thoughts for our listeners today?
No, we're so appreciative, to have the funds and, I've been in the credit union industry a long time. And one of my favorite things is the people, like people at Vizo, people at CrossState. I just think we're lucky to have, wonderful partners to lean on, and not only the funds, but from both your organizations, people have volunteered at the reality fairs, have given their time as well. So that's always appreciated.
Great. Sandy, what about you? Any final thoughts for our listeners?
Well, I too will echo the others. Definitely thank you to Vizo for making these funds available and for always being so supportive of financial education initiatives for years and years. The foundation as well. I mean, it's the mission of the foundation. I think that we really have some great programs available to our credit unions, and it just is important to just keep talking about it and making sure that people know that the support is out there. I feel inspired hearing what Angela and Erica have done in their environments to think about other things that we could be doing. And this is truly the best thing about credit unions, is that we share with each other. We're not fighting against each other. We are trying to find ways to work together. And this is just one more way for that to happen. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. True cooperatives.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to share this information with our audience. All right. This episode of Financial Minds Meet the Experts is brought to you by Vizo Financial's Payments Conference. Payments don't just fuel credit unions, they fuel the world we live in. Whether through P2P apps or ACH transactions, cards, or digital wallets, the payments domain moves fast and impacts the way we do business with our members. At Vizo Financial, their virtual payments conference, an immersive online event, will be uniting credit union professionals and payment industry leaders to explore the transformation payments arena. Join us on November 5th through the 6th, 2024, as we delve into a series of forward-thinking education sessions on error and fraud in electronic payments, managing instant payment risk, wire transfer strategies, and so much more. These sessions are designed to provide actionable insights on the latest payment technology and trends and relevant strategies to incorporate them into your credit union's product line. Learn more at www.vfccu.org. As always, thanks for listening and make it a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks.